what's the next thing that I need to consider to buy after 722? I want to upgrade. So we'll answer that, but I want to make this video into about upgrading your racket. Like, what is the mental framework y'all need to have to justify an upgrade? So the first question I would ask this guy specifically is, why do you want to upgrade? Like, justify to me why you need this to buy a new racket, right? A different racket. Because we're at a good starting point. You guys know why I like the 722. It's a great starting point. It's an all-rounder racket. It has no faults. It's an amazing beginner intermediate racket, right? So we're at a good starting point. So what about the 722 do you feel lacking? Because a lot of the time it can just be a skill issue, honestly. I hear a lot of people say, oh, like I don't have power with it, which is a lie. We've already disproved that, and I have an upcoming video idea that hopefully comes to life to disprove it even further. We have lack of control, which could just be skill issue. We have that, we feel it's too light. Okay, get used to it. So you need to be able to justify what is the reason, right? Are you at the level that you can handle a heavier racket in terms of either it being head heavy or for you finally? Because a lot of the time kids will get the 722 because they hear me talk about it, and then they'll see their friends use a 4U, and then they'll try and like, oh my gosh, and then they'll brainwash themselves into thinking, oh, my racket's no good anymore, I need a heavier racket, blah 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 blah. And we know that's not the case. So that's step one. Justify the upgrade and use actual facts and logic, not just subjective feeling. Okay. Step two is, okay, now we know what we want. We need to be able to diagnose it. So for example, if you're coming from 722 and you realize you are a front court player and you want to optimize for speed, right? You'll be looking for a racket with a speed type frame. So something that's more aerodynamic, because the 722 is a box frame. So something like, for example, wait, where's my racket? Something like what I'm using, right? The Hardator Pro, which has the same frame as the 1000Z, so very wide, very fast. Something like the Assailant Pro or the Pro Commander, which are both aero box. So you have some stability because of some of its box frame, but you still get some faster because it's aero as well. You could get another box frame, but heavier, 4U or God forbid 3U, if you're more of a singles player, more control type, more stability, right? Or let's say you're like a backcourt player, you just want something for smashing. So in that case, do you want something a bit stiffer? Do you want something a bit more head heavy, right? Or do you want another all-rounder racket, but you're looking for something a bit more, I guess, higher level? So something a bit more stiff, something that's either 5U or 4U, right? So that's why step one is important, because once you're able to justify why you want a second racket or a new racket, step two becomes a lot easier, because you still need to try a bunch of rackets to be able to figure out what racket suits you the best. But because you did your homework in step one, you should be able to identify quickly what kind of racket you like in this second step. And you can try rackets from your friends. You can say, oh, my friend has a head heavy racket. Oh, my friend has a headlight racket. Oh, my friend has a 4U racket that's stiff. My friend has a 4U racket that's flexible. And you can kind of decide from there, okay, I liked the feeling of head heavy. I liked the feeling of a slightly stiffer shaft. Okay, so I need a racket that's 4U, slightly stiffer, and is slightly head heavy or very head heavy, right? So that would be step two. And then of course, step three would be to assess. After you've made the purchase, is it a good purchase? Do you like it? If not, maybe you can probably sell it and try again. That's the good thing about the used market. You're able to sell badminton rackets for pretty close to what you bought them for, especially if they're in good condition. So for me, trial and error is the best way to go about this. You just did your homework, so you don't have to do as many trials and make as many errors. But if you're really looking for like a perfect racket and you're very picky, trial and error is still going to be an unavoidable step. So that's my answer, because I can't really give you a recommendation, because for me the 722 can bring you all the way up to intermediate play. It really can. In the Philippines, this can bring you up to, like, I would say like top of level C, like beginning of level B play. Okay, and then at that point, because your potential has grown and you'll be able to express your skill in so many different ways, there's not like a set second racket after 722, because you as a player will have developed so much by the time that you truly need to change off of the 722. There's just a billion different rackets and a billion different preferences at that point. So I can't help in that regard. But I hope the framework here helps. I hope you go through step one and you're really able to, tell yourself or tell me or tell whoever the real reason, or like a real justification why you need one, a new upgrade, I mean. And then step two, doing that homework and doing that research. Okay, bye.